Okay, we're live and I will let people in right at 2. Okay, we're live and I will let people in right at 2.
I just heard a delay.
That was me on the YouTube.
Okay.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Phil Risen. I'm the Executive Director of the NIAAA, and welcome to our first NIAAA Town Hall. The purpose of this meeting is to keep our membership informed, engaged, and give them an opportunity to share with the NIAAA and the fact any questions that they may have. Being the host of this meeting, during the process of this meeting, you will hear from myself, from Becky Moran, Associate Executive Director, Rich Barton, also Associate Executive Director, and from our NIAAA President, Steve Throne. And so what I want to do by getting this first annual meeting going is to let you know that during the course of the year, the NIAAA has 4 quarterly NIAAA Town Hall meetings. And hopefully, as we start this first one, we will seek to improve, reflect, and try to get better at each one and giving you the information that you need and feel is important. I would just like to personally start out by saying thank you. Thank you primarily for the job you do on a daily basis. You don't know how much I appreciate the work you're doing every single day. I know, as does our staff and as does our board, it's not an easy job. You juggle 100 things at once, from the buses to the budgets to student issues and even dealing with late night emails. But yet you still show up for kids, your coaches, and most importantly, your community. Community is important to me because I do feel like that community is the one ingredient that separates us from other select type programs. As interscholastic sports, we are the last stand of amateurism in the country. And therefore, what you do makes a difference. And more importantly, I hope you make sure that you understand how honored we are to serve with you in this mission of interscholastic athletics. With that, I would like to introduce our president, Steve Throne, for him to give some opening remarks.
All right, everybody. Hey, good to see everybody. Thanks for jumping on the town hall. Biggest thing for us is just trying to find a way to connect as we get bigger and bigger with our membership and try to make sure that we're a resource, can share ideas. But the 6th strategic plan, we talked about coming up with a comprehensive communication plan. And this is kind of part of it too, is how on a quarterly basis, we can get the membership updated and let them know what's going on and not just be at the NADC and those types of things. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to connect. Do more than communicate. We're trying to connect, and we want to connect with you and meet the needs that you have in your area, whether it's at the state level, section level, or whatever it might be. So we're here for you, and obviously I appreciate all that the office staff does, because they do a ton behind the closed doors that nobody sees, because they're in their offices getting after it every day. But the board and I would like to thank you for all you do, and if there's anything that we can do to help you as you grow as a professional in this profession that we all love, just please let me know.
Thank you, Steve. So what I want to do right now is just talk a little bit about, as you see the slide there in front of you, our membership update. I don't want to talk about numbers. Steve's already mentioned the incredible growth that the NIAAA has experienced over the past several years. In the last 5 years, the NIAAA has experienced almost a 36% increase in growth. And as Steve said, one of the things that does is make us evaluate the fact of how we communicate to our members. So this way is a new form in order for us to be able to communicate to you, and we look forward to your feedback. A couple of things I want to talk about with the NIAAA and our membership is the vitalness of the fact of making sure that your profile on Final Forms is up to date. Not only for the beneficiary form, which is vital, and unfortunately we don't like to talk about that, But I know for all of us, we want to make sure that our loved ones are taken care of. And as an NIAAA member, you're eligible for a $2,500 life benefit. But it really helps the process in working with the insurance companies if you've updated your beneficiary form and have the proper information in there. So you can go to your profile section of final forms and make sure that that is complete. That would be of great assistance. The other thing that we want to speak to is our legal assistance request form. One of the things NIAAA tries to do and tries to make sure is that we provide you with the resources you need in order to be prepared for anything that you have to deal with. We all know sometimes in this job, we get slammed with some requests or some comments or some concerns, or parents basically blasting us on social media, doing things like that, or the fact that maybe we need to have someone that we trust and can communicate with in obtaining some legal assistance. This is new to the NIAAA. On your profile, you will see that there's a legal request form. It's not for the fact that you're going to speak to anyone at the NIAAA, but you will fill out this form. And when you complete this form, then this form is automatically submitted. At that point, as the executive director, I have to review it for our liability policy. And then on staff, we have Tom Horn, who is our PDA legal information assistant, and he will look at this and then reach out to you and provide you some legal assistance, giving you primarily some jurisprudence in the fact of what's happened before and kind of where you're standing in that situation. Again, usually this is not employment law because employment law throughout the country is different in every state. But it is a situation where if you feel like you're being sued or a pending lawsuit, it could be something that could give you a little bit more peace of mind. So that is a new member benefit, and we wanted to promote that today as well. So with that being said, finalizing that, just make sure that your profile is up to date and encourage any of your colleagues that you see them to make sure that their profile stays up to date as well. With that, I want to turn it over to Rich Barton to let him talk about some professional development updates.
Yeah, often we like to say that leadership training program drives the NIAAA bus, and we're constantly trying to improve. Big part of our accreditation is course revision. Last January, the course revision process started for a record number of 16 courses. We also thought it was important enough with our introductory courses and legal courses that we brought the 501, 502, 503 teams, as well as 504 and 508 into headquarters, and started that process off really well. For this upcoming year, we will have 7 courses revised. We'll also bring in the other 2 legals, 506 and 510, to headquarters for them to meet together to start their revision process. One thing that was undertook this last spring, for the first time, we had a course audit and curriculum mapping done of all our courses. And this was to help bring, one of the great things of our courses is we have so many people involved in the development and co-authoring, but that also could be a challenge with that many different people. And so this process with the audit was to bring some things into more of an alignment, which also makes it easier for our state faculties in teaching. And that's been a remarkable undertaking. And we also used our PDA team at our September meeting to also put their eyes on specific courses to kind of give a charge to the process that will start a little earlier this year, as Arthur Ballard and Joey Struey will meet with the revision teams separately at the conference in Tampa. Online course updates. Becky has been a huge help in the production of our online courses, meeting first with the international people and the uniqueness of their schedules with their time zones. And that's going to be a great thing with a new platform that involves teaching to the person on the screen rather than the person on the screen witnessing teaching to a classroom of students. And we feel like that's going to be a more personal touch to those who take the online courses. And we're excited about this new platform for our members. Fall webinars right now are currently open for registration. We've already had some great interest, and there's room still for people to register for those courses. In the past, we moved them back a little bit, and that's improved our registration numbers as we've gone back a little bit into later October and the first part of November. And we hope people will look at some of those 600 and 700 offerings. Also, if you have interest in being a state faculty member, 790 will be offered as well. NIAAA AD Roundtable. If you weren't able to be part of this last month's roundtable that Don Baker is the host, I would encourage you to put that on your calendar each month to be a part of it. It's a great member resource. It's an outstanding professional development opportunity that will be available for our members 9 months out of the year.
Thank you, Rich. Appreciate you sharing that professional development update. So with that, just a couple of other things I want to talk about before I turn it over to Steve a little bit. Just some other basically state association news. NIAAA partners with part of your membership benefit is with the Active Policy Solution. And on your behalf, they've been working to work on legislation primarily. So we have a new tax bill, which will go in effect January the 1st, which will allow you primarily January the 1st going forward to deduct primarily eligible educators are eligible to deduct $300 or $600 primarily with the fact if you're filing jointly. With that being said, professional development can be a part of that. We all know as educators or as athletic administrators, we utilize some of our own expense sometimes to assist our students in the fact of some needs which may occur. This was brought about by the fact of us seeing this need, communicating that need to Active Policy Solutions, and them working with legislators in order to get that process passed through the monotonous cycle of Congress. So with that being said, we're excited to have that going into effect. And if you attend the National Athletic Directors Conference going forward, or with your state association, if you attend your state association conference after January the 1st, those would be some eligible expenses that you would be able to deduct on your tax documents as you file those. A couple other things, Steve has already mentioned primarily the fact of the 6th strategic plan. We will be revealing that full plan in Tampa, 29 initiatives. I'm very thankful for the leadership of Lannis Robinson and his general leadership team of Jeff Sitz, Trish Whitkin, and Josh Scott, who helped along with 24 committee members throughout the country representing all 8 sections in formulating our new 6th strategic plan, and we're excited about that. As Steve already mentioned, what you're seeing now is really formulation of what came out of the 6th strategic plan. I'll talk about a couple other things, but I want to give Steve an opportunity to talk additionally about some items he would like to address.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is I think of the 6th strategic plan is just us adjusting and preparing for the growth that has happened in our organization, whether it's the office space expansion, different personnel that we might need to put in place to meet the needs of all of our members as we go forward, past members and new members. I think that's so important. But I think with the strategic plan, it just gives us a blueprint and a roadmap that keeps us focused on what we do well: professional development, connecting with athletic administrators, whether it's in the United States or internationally. And so we appreciate that roadmap. The other thing is I look at just in general, as I've worked through the year in this role, is is that the appreciation that I have for our committees and the appreciation I have for our PDA team. And I got a chance to attend the state coordinators meeting, which I'd never done before. That was the biggest mistake of my athletic administrative career. What a great group of people, what a great event, what a great time to get together and just share ideas and develop relationships, and that's a big part of it. But I think the strategic plan and the group that put that together for us did a remarkable job, and they have really set a path that is going to take us to bigger and better things as we move forward. So I'm excited to see that unfold and work to help that unfold in the right way.
Thank you, Steve. So just a couple other things that I will mention. I will let Becky talk a little bit about Tampa, just some preliminary information as she addresses. She's going to talk about some special initiatives and some programs that we have going forward and some things that have come out of our July board meeting. And so I'm going to turn it over now to Associate Executive Director Becky Moran.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. For everyone who it is afternoon, I know Phil said we were going to talk just briefly about Tampa, and really just want to invite everybody down to Tampa. Really excited. We broke 2,000 registrants this morning, so really excited. I think our membership is excited to go to Tampa. We've got a great lineup of speakers and workshops and professional development mixed in with some other events, and really one of the highlight professional development opportunities for athletic administrators in our country, and we continue to strive to make that the best that it can be for all of our attendees. So looking forward to and welcoming you to Tampa here in December. A couple of initiatives that we want to draw your attention to. These are not new necessarily. At least the first one is our PSA program that we do with the NFHS. I just want to draw your attention to where that is. It lives on our website under resources and then free resources. And right here, and you can go in here and download for your own state those resources. You just fill out a little bit of information. Once you put your state in there, it will give you a download that is exactly for your state. New to us this year, and I'm going to show you this just because in case you haven't, we put in video PSAs this year, and I think they're really integral and really important with so many of us having the opportunity to show these in so many different platforms, whether that be in a parent meeting, on a video board, in your hallways, on your social media strands. And I'm just going to quickly show one to you in case you haven't seen it. And again, where you saw our logos, the NFHS and the NIAAA, at the end of that, you would see the NIAAA, the NFHS, and then your state high school association and your state AD association. This is something that we do in conjunction with them to continue to spread the message of education-based athletics, and really excited about that initiative. And we will continue to do that for you. Again, that's a free resource that's available to you as a member of the NIAAA. New to us this year is our Choose School Sports campaign. Hopefully you have seen this come through on your email. It is a push to post campaign where if you are logged into your email, or not your email, but your Facebook or your Twitter or X page, you can push right through on that messaging and it will link right to your either personal or your school athletic programs, Twitter or Facebook page, and you can post that same message. The intention behind that is to, as you can see here, is really to have a singular message around the importance of education-based athletics and what we can do as a community at large across this country to better support the work that we're doing every day in our schools. Really excited about that campaign. Like I said, we're in its first year of that. We'll have 9 this year come forward throughout this school year. And then we'll continue to do that as we move forward, championing not only why students should participate, but why communities should get out and support education-based athletics in their communities and spending their entertainment dollars in that space. Coming up for us in just a few short years is our 50th anniversary of meetings of the NIAAA. And so Steve Throne and our board has put together a committee led by Joni Pabst from Arizona to lead a committee on how we will best celebrate the NIAAA and all of our history. I'm really excited and looking forward to that. That will be in Kansas City in 2027, where we will see that come to fruition. But throughout the year in that 2027, we'll see just that celebration of us across that year. So really excited to see what that group comes up with. And then in addition to that, we are also Steve and our board put together a subcommittee to look at our logo. One of the things that came out of our sixth strategic plan was to take a look at our logo and potentially redesigning that just visual a representation of our association. And so that committee has been put together, and Josh Matthews from Georgia will be leading that committee to work us through that process. That is not something that we will launch until 27. So it will be exciting times at that conference in Kansas City as we celebrate us, but also look into our future with potentially a new logo for the NIAAA. And with that, I will turn it back over to Phil.
Thank you, Becky. Thanks for sharing that. Again, what we want to do is we want to offer resources for you. We look forward to the opportunity to serve you. You don't know how honored I am to be able to come into this office every day and work with these professionals, these individuals who have the same initiative in charge, and that is primarily to serve our members. With that, at this time, we'll open it up to any Q&A. If anybody has any questions, we'll try to facilitate those. Becky's going to check the chat room. We'll try to facilitate those with any Q&A if anybody has any questions. Again, this is our first AD Town Hall Forum. We continue. I will share with you, we have dates for the other ones scheduled. Our next one will be November the 24th. That will be right before the conference. And that will be a good time to maybe get a conference update on where we're at and what's going on, and if any changes or adjustments been made. And then we will be also offering another AD Town Hall Forum on February the 23rd of 2026. That will be right after the board meeting. And then April the 27th in 2026. You help us to make us better by letting us know the information we can provide to you to assist you and give you the resources that you need in order to be successful at your job. I want to thank you for being here today. And Becky, do we have any questions?
As of right now, no. If anyone wants to put something in the chat or even unmute yourself. Don, that's a great question. I know Nellie is on the call. Nellie, if maybe you could unmute and answer Don's question about the CMAA checklist.
We do not have one for the CMAA. We haven't created one for that.
That's a great question. So it's something we can work on, Dawn. Thank you so much for bringing that to our attention, and certainly something we can work on. Nellie, I'll let you get the next one too. Where can I find the CAA checklist? Well, somebody else is questioning that.
The CAA worksheet is available if you go in final forms into the CAA page. It's listed there before you purchase the application.
Okay. Question on the 26 scholarship applications for the student scholarships. Do we know when that will be posted for states to be able to use?
It's my understanding that those have been updated and posted, and that the state associations have been sent to the state association executive directors, and they should be utilizing those.
Great.
We'll double check that. That's a great question to make sure that those are online and updated.
We do have a question, and I anticipated this one about Tampa hotels. Yes, as VJ mentioned in the chat, we are currently sold out of at least flow for the conference. For hotels, we do have singular nights or Monday, Tuesday nights at some of our hotels. We are currently working with the city to reach out to all the hotels in the space to see if there's any more rooms available for us to be able to create a block for our members. I would say at this time, if you have a room, or you have secured even at a higher rate, I would hold on to that room, knowing that we may or may not be able to secure more rooms at the conference rate for this year.
Last call for any questions.
No.
Again, let me conclude today with just saying and wrapping this up a little bit, wanting you to know how valued and appreciated you are for the work that you do day in and day out. And again, as I said when we started, it's not an easy job. All of us that have been engaged in the field of athletic administration at the interscholastic level have a lot of issues that we have to deal with. So it's important that you feel like that you have the supports you need. We would appreciate any feedback. You can always feel free to email myself, Rich, or Becky anything, we would appreciate any feedback as we start this new initiative of communicating with our membership. But I'd like to conclude by just saying I truly thank you for all you do and the difference that you're making on a daily basis. I am so proud and honored to be a part of this profession with you. Have a great week and a great fall as you continue to work through the programs that you have within your school. Everyone have a great day.
Thank you.